back to the Messed Up Movies Podcast, the podcast celebrating movies and filmmakers that embrace the insane, the unhinged, the outrageous, and the all-around kind of off-kilter, messed up fun you can't take your eyes off of. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Griffey, joined as always by my friend, co-host, and guy who's a little over Jesus, if he's being honest.
Oh, definitely Alex Dandino. Griff, let me ask you this. Do you ever bang fish?
Plead the fifth. Again. A lot of pointed questions from you lately.
Well, I'll tell you what. One place you don't have to plead the fifth, the Patreon.
That's right.
That
makes it sound like it's a lawless place. It's a very nice community of upstanding podcast
The Messed Up Movies Patreon is an amazing place for $1 a month or more because you love us. You get access to our Discord. You get access to all our exclusive stuff, including our commentary on Black Mirror series, which we're getting through, and the Black Mirror series we're getting through, and also Tales from the Griff,
which is a Tales from the Crypt podcast miniseries. We're looking at new miniseries. We've talked about Batman Animated, maybe Sopranos, maybe X-Files. You never know. We work very hard to make that worth your time. So yeah, a couple shekels, throw them our way. That would mean the world to us. Best way to support the show. Misfit Parade YouTube, misfitparade.com, so you can keep track of our journey to finish Mr. Cream Jean's Hidey Hole, our first feature film. Lots of fun stuff over there. We're on all the socials you're on. We would appreciate likes, shares, comments, TikToks, Reels, all that stuff. Great things to send your friends. You letting your friends know, your movie-loving friends know what we're doing here is the best way to help the show. 5-star ratings and reviews are great. Just reach out to someone, man. Grassroots it. That's what we're looking for. All right. It's summer, beaches. We're here at the end of our July curation. It's been hot. It's been sweaty. I think this is our first one that you could say is clammy. We are here talking about Dagon. 2001's Dagon, right? Directed by the incomparable Stuart Godden. Stars Ezra Godden, Francisco Rabel, and Raquel Merono. All right, here's the synopsis. A boating accident runs a young man and woman ashore in a decrepit Spanish fishing town, which they discover is in the grips of an ancient sea god and its monstrous half-human offspring. So let's start here. Every time I revisit Dagon, you are kind of immediately struck by the...
Is it often?
I fucking love this movie unabashedly. I watch it a lot. I am very into Cthulhu aesthetics. I'm very into cults. It tickles a lot of fancies I have. I love Stuart Godden. You will immediately get the fucking day-old scent, right? The fish that the monger couldn't sell on time scent of just low production value. The worst CG you've ever seen. That's fine. Take all that aside. I think this movie fucking rips. I think it's super fun. I love the idea of these kind of battling these gods and the people who think they're there. Is this a film that, like the people in the town, is just full of warts and disgusting parts of their visage? Yes. But do I love it? Yes. Would I swim deep into the earth with my sister? Yes. I love this movie. I think it's fucking great. I'm assuming you do not love this movie like I do.
I mean, I've had way less time with it. I'm sure maybe eventually it would grow on me. I don't necessarily think it was... Here's the thing. I don't think it was bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, if you... How many movies have we watched together? Like, if you watch Stuart Godden movies, you're like... It's not like you go like, well, if it's not Scorsese, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, it's just part of, like... It's just part of, like, I like watching Stuart Godden movies. I'm going to sit down and watch Stuart Godden and, like... I gotta say this, Ezra Godden looks exactly like Jeffrey Combs, and it was fucking like... Yeah,
like Jeffrey Combs who made Varsity.
Yeah, it's weird. It actually kept throwing me off, and I was like, is Ezra Godden a stage
Jeffrey Combs
name?
Is not 6'3". What's going on here?
Yeah, what was happening? And I was, again,
is this an Anthony Michael Hall scenario? What are we doing here?
It legitimately blew my mind it wasn't Jeffrey Combs. I'm like, is Ezra Godden a stage name or something like that? It was wild, but I was still, again...
He's like the porno recasting of Jeffrey Combs.
As we often say, it's like the Wish.com version, Like,
Yes.
if you want Jeffrey Combs, this is the Wish.com version of Jeffrey Combs. Not
if
a
you
bad
want
thing.
acting, you
Handsome
go with Jeffrey
guy.
Combs. If you want a guy who's 6'3" and has abs, you go with whoever this guy is, Ezra Gooden. That's what we're doing. I don't know, man. This tickles my fancy. Another thing I've always been really into, I love these kind of ancient mythological kind of creatures and stories that center around the ocean. There's something I love about this. The issue is I remember the tale, right? The Lovecraft tale that I read years ago, right? It's a sailor in one of the world wars who gets stranded on this island in a remote part of the Pacific. He wakes up in a hospital and he's recounting this thing, right? Mm-hmm. I will say, I feel like these poor fishmongers done got a bad deal from Dagon. You remember when you watch Creature from the Black Lagoon and you're like, oh, that creature's jacked because he's a fish who can live underwater and all he does is swim all day? And he can crush your head like a coconut, right? Like it's like the Von Erich's death grip on your head. He can crush you. These fucking fish people, whatever they are, I don't know why they're still in the town. They're so fucking weak and decrepit and slow and obviously have terrible vision and cognitive functions, right? They walk after him as if it's like a herd of Joe Bidens and I Know What You Did Last Summer jackets. And it's like, this is hard to watch. Like, what do you make of the deal with Dagon, right? Because I get it, you want fish and gold. That's great. The rest of it seems pretty shit. Dagon does not seem like a good god.
It's, Sorry, that was
I'm
really
the sharpest tack in the toolbox still. What time is it, 4? Oh.
Oh, time for dinner. No, I think that
I got a coupon.
as far as the kin of Dagon, I gotta say, I would have kept them all on the island as well and been like, you know what? No one needs to see this. This was a huge mistake what I just did. There's just,
isn't there a part of Dagon under there like, hey man, you're representing me. Like, we got to do a little better. Some of you have like barnacles and tentacles, but you guys are weak. You are lame creations.
The scene we're missing is like that scene from The Sopranos when Tony yells at everyone because of the economic downturn.
Yeah.
He's like,
you're supposed to
go
be
out there.
earners.
You guys are earners. You're supposed to be out there.
Yeah, just fucking heavy.
You're earners.
But see, that's the thing. Everything in this movie breathes like Gandolfini. Yeah, I feel like, well, because this is the thing. It's kind of an island of Dr. Moreau setup, right? Like, you land on this place where the laws of nature and society have turned upside down.
Right.
And there are these people, right? Because we get into this movie fucking lightning fast. Essentially, we start,
split, my friend.
And there's a guy who's like, yeah, I don't want to blow jobs or have sex with my super hot fucking Spanish girlfriend because I got to check stonks. Right? He's on this boat in the fucking middle of nowhere with this old couple for no explainable reason. He's a millionaire. He's got some lady who's like, oh, you're not into banging? Let me handle that. And he's like, ew.
It's so weird.
No, I meant ew about the spreadsheet. Yeah, he's like a loser of all losers. A storm comes in so fucking fast. Like, I don't know much about nautical nonsense. This felt like nautical. Like, that storm's on him, lickety split. Smashed them into the rocks, and they're like, all right, we got a little dinghy. This fucking lady who had her tits out on the deck, her fucking saggy leg is all smashed in a rock. We got to go. And immediately, we're like in the midst of this fucking cat and mouse running gag for the entire rest of the fucking movie, right? The only thing they give us before this for pretext is he keeps having this dream about exposed tittied mermaid. Right? She doesn't have the shells like the Disney thing. This is like a tits out mermaid and this giant seal, this giant fucking opening, right? That's like a circle with two like little fucking Moon Knight boomerangs on them.
Yeah.
And that's all we know.
I gotta ask this. If you're at sea, if you're a seafaring gentleman like this guy clearly is because he has a boat, that's all we know. All you really need to know. Isn't like exposed top mermaid pretty like it's got to be a common like vision you maybe see like
a fantasy.
I'm at sea I'm having fantasies. Like, yeah, obviously a topless mermaid's one of them. Like,
Dude, everyone has had the mermaid fantasy. You don't even have to be a sea dog. That's just
There's
like a
nothing
classic
surprising
thing. But
about
for
that.
him, he feels like there's more, right? And they go to the town. They find this creepy priest. And then two guys who look like extras from Dark City. And he's like, yeah, get on their boat. They'll help you. And I was like, nothing? No red flags? Because the guy doesn't think they speak English. And he goes, hey, the priest is giving me the creeps. And he's like, I will protect the lady. And I was like, that makes you not have the creeps?
There is considerable there's a considerable thought of like, well, I'm American, I'll get out of this just fine. And I'm like throughout the undercurrent of the movie is, I'm American, I'll be fine. It pervasive. Every time someone has an accent, they're like, that guy's probably bad. I'm like, hey, knock it off. All right. We cause more problems around the world than these poor people. These poor,
I think in this
desolate Biden fish people.
Yeah, the Biden fish people, I think, got to take the L on this. They're the one place an American can show up and be like, we're not wearing the L for this. This is a fucking you problem. You know what didn't start this fire? Americans. That's all.
You showed up here.
You fucking did it. Yeah, you had one guy who had the I bought a knife at the mall goatee who just comes in. He's like, Jesus sucks. We're hungry. I got a new guy. Dagon. And everyone's just like, is that a gold fucking dildo in our fishnets? Are we just chock full of fucking salmon? And they're like, maybe we ought to start fucking murdering people. That's how fast. Did you notice how fast he got his full fucking Liberace outfit to go with the fucking soul patch? That guy didn't show up unprepared. Like, what was the first meeting with that guy and Dagon? Dagon's like, here is a trunk full of the finest cloths and linens from my old priesthood. And he's like, well, this is pretty sick, dude. Normally I'm just kind of cutting my fingernails to Slayer all the time. I would be a priest of Dagon. This is great. And it's like, we don't get a lot of content. It's actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie is he meets this old drunk who just fucking crushes this movie. He's like, you're like, how is this guy giving this performance in the middle of this film? But he does. He's like, I remember we were poor and Jesus wasn't helping us. It's like, yeah, a lot of, the saddest motherfuckers in life spend a lot of time praying to Jesus and don't hear shit, right? Some guy comes in with a soul patch and a ponytail and he's like, or this guy's giving us golden fish. And they're all like, well, you know what? Honestly, fuck that Jesus guy. They murder the priest. He comes in his fine linens. He tells the story. And then Dagon's like, I need more than just your adoration. Yeah. And they sacrifice his father, right? And essentially, they've left this child to grow into this old, weathered man here, just drinking himself loco.
Yeah.
And they just let him be, right? And he says, when the new guy shows up, he's like, you remind me of my father and mother. You give me the will to fight.
That concept, by the way, because I love the flashbacks in this. Like, there's something about that that's really, that's just so entertaining. Like the flashback.
Well, that section of the movie is such a perfect Lovecraftian snippet.
It's it's really cool. What I love though is that this old guy, literally everyone's like, he'll just fuck it up himself. Just let him drink himself into oblivion. Like, it'll be fine. Yeah. Like,
Dagon's like, I'm not putting a tentacle in that guy.
Leaving that guy to chance, be like, listen, he sucks anyways. Like, I don't know. Dagon's rules for this island are real fast and loose.
It's like, aren't you a god who can change and remake flesh? He's like, come on. He's like, do we not worry at all?
Him?
Yeah. Medium is message, guy. Gross. Ew. What am I, a finger painter? This is disgusting. Yeah, it's
Dagon has
that poor bitch. But that guy, crushes that movie. That was Francisco Rabel.
His last movie. His final movie.
It's so sad because they actually had to a great man, a great actor, and a great friend, an honor card that honored him.
He was great. He just
he's like the thing that I think this movie so needed. This movie, for as much as I love the Lovecraftian shit, and when they choked the Spanish lady and he's out on the boat and there's, blood and fucking ink in the water, all that shit's great. When you see the shambling Joe Biden guys and your lead actor's just this weird, he's wearing an old Navy Muscatonic shirt, so we know it's Lovecraft. And he goes around the room and he's like, I don't think so. And he says two choices 38 times in the movie, and you're like, this guy fucking blows. And you're like, this movie needs some gravitas bad. You drop Francisco Rabel in the middle, and all of a sudden, it's almost as if by osmosis, this guy's performance starts getting better, right? It's one of those things De Niro said, and he's like, people who think acting is competitive are crazy. He's like, if you work with better people, your performance is fucking better. Like, you will look better. And he kind of saves the movie. He gives it this, because you're just like, this is a lot of bad CG. I don't know why are these fish people so fucking disgustingly lame and pathetic? You know, like the scene when he like jumps out of a window, like nothing hurts him. And he's in the warehouse, and they're all like, one guy's just on like a fucking kindergarten scooter, like pulling himself, and it's like, really? That's the design you went with? That's the design of Sea fucking Minion? Okay. And he just runs out like with the little fucking frame in front of him. And they're like, bright orange shirt? Nope, don't register it. Let's go. Let's keep running around and freaking out. And you're like, this is rough. And then he meets Ezekiel. And you're like, wow, this is fucking rad. Now we got a fucking movie. And I think, because from here is when we also introduce this other thing. We introduce our fantasy girl, right? Every dream is a wish, as she says later. So he goes in, he sneaks into this house, right? He's trying to get the car. He's trying to hotwire a car and just turns the alarm off. He's like, fuck, I gotta run. He goes upstairs. He enters a room. And there is this lady who has such a striking look. Like her face and her eyes are so striking. And she's in bed, and he sits down. He's like, hey. Like, he kind of recognizes her from his dreams, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of doing the whole thing. And all of a sudden, she's like rapidly like, Pablo, I called to you in the dream. And she starts like kissing him. And he's just like, well, maybe. Oh, wait, I'm still looking for my girlfriend. And all of a sudden, she's like, no, fuck me. And he's like, "Rrr." They pull back the blankets and just two huge fucking tentacle legs. And this is a moment as a horror movie audience. You have to go.
I loved it.
It's great, but it's also one of those you're like, are we sure that he just doesn't? Like, it's a Luke and Leia thing where we find out later they're brother-sister. Actually, but at the time you didn't know.
Actually, it reminded me of there's this guy who's on Instagram and TikTok. He's trying out to be a professional soccer player, and when he's working out, he does it without his shirt on, and he has like really pronounced man.
Oh,
boobs.
The giant tits guy, yeah.
And as soon as that
when
scene
you're an
came
athlete, up, something's always gonna hurt.
I thought, because I always flip through the comments to see who the first one will be to say it. It's like, it's not so my good. Proudest tug.
Yeah, I love that. This was a challenging wank. Yeah.
That's the scene. Not my proudest tug. But
I was like, there's a part of me now as I'm getting older in every horror movie where I kind of like, I feel like after I've run like 8 miles, I face the Biden aquatic monsters and I just sit there and I go, at what point do I just realize there was a Griffey before the boat and a Griffey after the boat? And it's time to slap some fucking war paint on, right? It's time. Like, it's time to just accept my lot in life. And like, all right, I'm going to bed down with this fucking aquatic vixen. Like, what are we doing here? Why is he still running the rest of the movie?
Yeah, I don't know what it is that it's like. Again, it's...
Dude, he found his friend Howard's body skinned and drying out in a shed. He was flayed. And Ezekiel's like, they wear our skin. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing the fucking commando thing. The first fucking lady who wraps me in her tentacles, we're going to get some ink. It's happening. Like, this is going down.
When he does that too, when he says like they wear our skin, I was like, poorly, not convinced.
Yeah,
none
of them are good at it. It's really bad.
When does the skin fall off? Because it's already fallen off. They look terrible.
So you got the first part. You got the skin. You forgot the ultra crucial element of moisturization. These motherfuckers did not moisturize at all. They just got that sea burned skin. Yeah, the costumes in this are they're a little lacking. They're lacking at times.
the money goes to the CG. You know, that's just the way it goes.
That was not money well spent either, right? Like that, it looked like the computer game I used to play, Myst.
Again, it's 2001. It's literally the least. Again, I think this is the crazy thing about this.
This used to be a genre of like movie you would get in a bin at Walmart for $5.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of shifted where if you go to Walmart, it's popular big ass movies that are just $5, like a no frills, no special features, just disc for $5. Back in the day, there was a whole kind of genre trying to like recapture that VHS boom of just like kind of trash entertainment that would be. This was exactly what that was.
You and I know the guys, like there's the Asylum guys who did the knockoff blockbusters, like Transmorphers and that kind of shit. And yeah, this is like the same sort of thing. Like, again, it's Stuart Gordon, so it's got a little different. There are things about this movie that work exceptionally well.
Yeah.
And those things are numerable enough that make the movie completely watchable. Like, there's movies that are just shitty.
Well, like when you were growing up, did you watch any of those like sci-fi shows? Like a lot of them would shoot in Canada, where it's just
all
like
the time.
Here's a random like Stargate, right? Like they had all kind, or like what was it, Atlantis? Like something. Stargate. I mean,
Atlantis. I would even go as
all
far,
these
even
shows
like
where you're like, oh, go ahead.
Like the Dune, even like the Dune TV show that wasn't like completely up my alley. I still watched it. I was like, this is cool. But like the graphics weren't just the greatest thing I'd ever seen, but I was still
you'd watch
in it.
Xena, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast with Rod Perlman. There were so many shows that just were the kind of show I liked. The Highlander show. But like they had the kind of like, hey man, this isn't like the best money, the best schedule, like, but we're putting shit out that, you know, is the stuff you like, just the best version of it we can make for you. And I think growing up in that era, I have this real ability to block that things, right? Like a lot of people, like Danny McBride was doing this thing about the reason movie theaters are dying is because the theaters suck. They're not state of the art. They might have a smell, whatever. I feel like I'm just that guy where like none of that shit matters to me if it's something I'm at least interested in, right? Like Dagon has so many things that are right in my wheelhouse that despite the clear shortcomings of the film, again, I exactly what you said. I just find myself really latching on to like, it's like being lost at sea and you fucking find a buoy and you're like, oh dear God, thank you. Like you hold on and it's a fucking fun ride, man. This movie we use this expression a lot and I think it's kind of like overblown. This might be the leanest fucking movie I've ever seen since like Phone Booth. Like, there is not a fucking ounce of fat on this whole fucking movie. This is just
this movie clicks
a non-stop run and gun. Like, it never fucking stops.
Even the ending, which doesn't drag out or anything, but, like, it should. Like, the way the movie ends, particularly, is like, whoa, wait. We missed, like, 4 steps here, guys. Like, when they're like, no, we gotta go. Like,
well, he's like, I'm not banging you. And then he finds his friend and his girlfriend in a cage. And they immediately just get recaptured, right? She kills herself. The lady who had her tits out on the boat was like, he put a baby in me. Because that was the best part. He's like, she did this and he did this. And they're like, what are you saying? What are you saying? And Ezekiel goes, he fucka her. He fucka her. Put the baby in her. And it's like, dude, when that old man who had this great performance just goes, he fucka her. I was like, whoa. And his girlfriend is like, you got to kill me. They jump out of this thing, and Ezekiel's like, ah! They just fucking capture him, right? They have him stringed up in this shop. This is the moment that I'm sure we'll get to in a little bit. That was the moment that, you know, we're going to save for the end. But essentially, they just jump through this so fucking fast. I will never get over him. Hey, fuck her. He fuck. Dagon to fuck her. We get to the end, and we essentially do half a fucking... what about Temple of Doom? It's like a fucking low rent Temple of Doom is
that's
what
it is. Yeah. It's this really, again, I think what's interesting about this movie is the flashback tells you everything you need to know about the actual plot of the film. Almost, other than introducing the characters at the beginning, almost everything else is irrelevant. The chasing around, like, you could have gone, if I recommend this to somebody, I'm like, watch like the last 30 minutes. Watch the first 10 and then the last 30 and you've got the movie. And Like,
watch
again,
the flashback on YouTube and then turn on the last 20 minutes of the movie. Start in the skinnery.
Yeah. So like
you'll see an old man topless, and that's where you start the movie.
Start in the tannery, and you'll be good, and then like that's the movie. It's not a bad thing either. Like I don't hate it. It's more just, but the ending is what you're there for. Like this ending is fucking cool in terms of.
So the ending, they start off, and I was like, horror. This was classic. They know the metrics they gotta hit, right?
Yeah.
Where they have the super hot Spanish girlfriend like stretched out, dude, like a Frazetta. And the other girl, right? The two guys that are fighting over the lamest guy in movie history. Two choices, right? You suck me or Browntown. That's it. It's like, why do you always make it two? Why is it always like, anyways? So this nerd comes in, right? And the tentacle lady's like out of her. She has like a fucking weird ass wheelchair, like she's Myron from Head of the Family. And she's like just carving and doodling on her fucking insanely hot bod with a dagger, a little curvy Colt dagger, right? And she's like, stirring her up for the Dagon. And it's like, the fish people, right? They fucking chain her up. They got weights on her. I was like, dude, they're giving us the whole fucking. This is like we paid for a naked actress. We're using all the naked act, right? You know that you use every bit of the buffalo expression. And so she's like hanging up. She's there. They're all like chanting. They're like, Cthulhu, Flagon, Cthulhu, Flagon, or whatever. Just so we know it's Lovecraft. They're chanting, and he comes in and sees this, and he's like, what the H? He starts throwing gasoline on them, lighting them on fire, right?
Yeah.
And essentially he pulls her up. He stops her, and he uses the crank mechanism. He pulls her up. She's fucking covered in ink. And I was like, there's a small part of you that's like, did he also fuck her? And you're like, damn, Dagon busts fast. You're like, we've been watching this scene for 2 minutes. Dagon got her down there and busted so fast. I'm guessing the ink is bust, right? So it's like Dagon's a premature ejaculator.
Yeah,
that's why
Dagon's
he can't finish
a premature ejaculator.
He starts sculpting
that's why
a body.
He can't finish his creations.
He's like, I'm too sensitive. I can't finish. And the fish
this never happens. This never happens. Are you sure? There's like 50 people here that are like that.
Dagon, this happens to a lot of deities your age. It's fine. Don't be.
It's fine.
But I was like, did Dagon just bust super fast? Because she goes, kill me. You promise. And I thought they were going to say that she was knocked up and he was going to have to make a choice. Well, Dagon jumps out in just the lamest, saddest CG you've ever seen and pulls her down but leaves her arm stumps. I was like, hell yeah, dude, movie over. No, there's more movie. And so she's sitting there and they add this insane fucking curveball that I have no idea. She's like, your name is Pablo Carciani or whatever his name is, right? And he's like, what? I'm an American guy. What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, so this guy used to be so handsome. And he takes his mask off and he looks like Goldblum at the end of The Fly mixed with a walrus. And they're like, he was such a looker. He bring a women to a boca. And he make a Dagon babies. I was like, wait, how does that guy have Dagon sperm? Okay, neither here nor there. Like, it's magical shit. Like, maybe any sperm, right? It's like when it's a Jack and the Beanstalk thing, right? It doesn't matter what soil you plant it in. It's all the magical seed. Neither here nor there. So he busted in all these ladies and sent them back out in the world, or they escaped. And so Pablo came on. She's like, it is our destiny to be lovers and siblings. And I was like, okay, fucking wild. Like, these incest people really are into incest, right? They're really like pumped about it. There's a certain like kind of Venn diagram of people that are very religious and people who are very into incest. Neither here nor there. Not all of you. Don't get mad at me.
And that cross is like,
yeah. Don't get mad at me. Yeah. What do you think Adam and Eve were, brother? What do you think Adam? They were made from a rib of this guy. That's all incest. We're all incest. It's fine.
Again, the curveball is so.
Yeah, because the guy's like, and they're all like, Pablo. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? And he makes the wrong choice again, because this one you're like, fine, if I got to beat it, I'll beat it. Yeah, I'll clap the cheeks, and then when she falls asleep, post-coital, because I'm guessing fish have a refractory period too, you fucking run. Be like, yeah, I'm here to bang the princess. I want a car, and then fucking run. He goes, no, I have too many Rage Against the Machine vinyls.
Yeah.
And he lights himself on fire.
Dives, swan dives.
No, sorry. Lights himself on fire. She whips her clothes off and looks like the Rock and the Scorpion King. slithers over and grabs him by the wrist.
That's what it is.
And they fall in the water. Now they're underwater because he has gills on his abs. And I was like, no one, like, you never saw this? Like, when that lady was going down on you in the first scene, she's like, what are all these pink things on your ribs? Okay, I guess they're just being summoned by Invocan magic, right? In the Invocan atmosphere. So now he's underwater and he's breathing through gills. He's fucking burnt to shit, dude. Like fucking Liam Neeson's Darkman.
Yeah.
And I was like, these people
dead.
are so into incest that she sees him and she's like, still the best looking guy in town. And you're like, well, fuck, she's not wrong. Even this fucking crispy Anakin Skywalker looking remains of this guy's better than everyone else. Who the fuck was?
Yeah, I'm like, he's a misery now.
Yeah. And what does he do?
He can breathe underwater.
Like, oh, it's fun to breathe underwater. Let's go swim into the depths together. And we get some cool Lovecraft quote. And I was like, bitch, this is exactly my point. If at the end of the movie, you're going to have such little fucking fortitude that you surrender now that you're a fucking crispy nugget to just banging this tentacle lady and swimming in the ocean, just fuck the mermaid lady in the first scene.
I thought we'd at least get some regeneration or something like that, where he'd become like, he'd become like, oh, he's like
in theory, this is the other thing. Why are they still in Mboka? This has been like 60 years. Why aren't you guys all living in the sea? I thought that was the fucking point. But maybe they need him to like catch people for Dagon. I don't know.
But
again, neither here nor there. This movie's just fucking wild imagery set in like kind of a mythology I like.
It's bizarre.
I always like cults. I love the idea of small, desolate places, right? Remote places that find a new answer in a religion. And we watch it. And what's great about it is because we all watch and we're like, that's fucking crazy. And you're like, yeah, you go to church every Sunday, dude. That's the exact same shit. That's equally as bizarre to some people. But it's such a perfect way to examine. Oh, dude, the Wicker Man is the king of this genre. But yeah, I can't get enough of these stories.
I like the subsection of the world where you're like, well, God didn't work, so we're gonna try something else. You're like, fascinating. And also, it's always like,
well, also you're like, dude, cool. I have Apple News. He didn't do a good job. We need help. Yeah, like Dagon came right now and he's like, I know, America, it's a little rough right now. Would you do this? And it's like, I get some gold bricks and like, yeah, all right. Like, I'll try it. Like, nothing else has worked.
I think it's a really fascinating sort of just, it's a really weird movie that ends so abruptly with, I agree, one of those things where you're just like, why didn't he just do it in the first place?
Yeah, just bang her in the first place and then run away later.
What was the point of Again, this is why I say, like, the movie is at best 40 minutes worth of screen time.
Yeah, and this is the thing, too. This was also a time before, because Lovecraft was so omnipresent in culture. It inspired so many things, but we didn't have a lot of Lovecraftian movies that were, just straight up Lovecraft tales in movie form, right? Now that's becoming more prevalent, right? With, like, Lovecraft Country, Cutler Out of Space. We're getting a lot of these. There's like Empty Man's very Lovecraftian. We get a lot of these like more specifically Lovecraft kind of mythology movies. This was kind of a unique experience. I remember reading a lot of Lovecraft and knowing about it, but you're like, there's not a lot of Lovecraft movies. And this was one of them that you could go to. I don't know. I've always thought, despite its warts, there's just a really fucking fun energy. And to me, that's just Stuart Gordon. Like, that guy just knows how to make a fun, campy movie. Like, he knows exactly what we need.
I think that's
You think he didn't know about the budget? He didn't know about the CG? He's just like, fuck you guys. I'm going to make this fun anyways.
Stuart Gordon is just going to give you the fun that you're looking for in a movie like this, and that's sort of the implicit value of any of these kinds of movies. Like, again, it's like I said at the beginning. I don't watch Stuart Gordon movies going like, come on, why is there not any forethought like Scorsese would? Like, I know when I'm watching a Stuart Gordon movie, like, I'm not saying he's a bad director. I know that I'm watching his movies, though.
He's a lot of time he was working with less, right? To me, I think of it, and it's like when I see a Stuart Gordon movie, I'm like, this was not a guy they were backing the trucks up for. You're like, what Stuart Gordon did, you should be impressed with how much he got out of this movie, where you can see crystal clear on screen what an utter piece of dog shit this could have been.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that he got so much juice out of that squeeze is incredible. Is
Pretty
an absolute
fucking sweet.
testament to him.
He's also like he's really one of the only directors besides at this point, almost maybe Guillermo del Toro. He's the only one of the directors directors willing to just like put it all out there in terms of Lovecraft stuff. Like everything's got Lovecraft
Yeah,
flavors.
Herbert West was a Lovecraft. Like he's one of
the only
really
one who's like,
early
I'm
adopters.
doing this.
Well, it's just like this. Look at this fucking fertile, untapped. There was that one in the 70s, Die Monster Die, I think it was called. Mm-hmm. It was kind of loosely the Dunwich horror.
Sure.
But no one had like he felt like he had the exact tone of what a Lovecraft movie should have been.
Yeah. He was going.
And now
fucking
we're kind of
hard.
like I still think there's like a huge we thought it was going to be Richard Stanley. I think he got canceled again. Del Toro not getting to do Mouth of Madness with Tom Cruise is like one of the most infuriating fucking things that's ever happened in cinema.
It annoys me we don't live in that timeline. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. All right, Alex, what was the most messed up moment in Dagon?
Oh man, I don't know if it's the most messed up. My favorite part for sure in terms of messed upness is watching Ezekiel get flayed. That was fucking cool.
There's no contest. There's literally no contest.
Like, whenever Stuart Gordon, this is another great Stuart Gordon thing. He just loves seeing underneath people's skin. Yeah. And that makeup is always awesome. No matter what. It's
such a startle, because he's sitting there and he's fucking chained up. He's got no shirt on and he's like, you remind me of my father and papa, my papa and mama. And this fucking spreadsheet nerd starts doing like the Lord's Prayer. And Ezekiel's like, yes. Whoa! It's just like body's getting flayed apart. We're watching him, and this fucking nerd to have the audacity is like, I've seen people turned into fish, right? These shambling Joe Biden fish people. He's like, I've seen literal evidence that there is a supernatural power 100% in this town of Invoca, right? The audacity to be like, but I'm American. I'm going to pray my way out of this is fucking wild. And the soundtrack of this old man who never gave up on God being flayed alive while this other fucking nerd who clearly is not religious at all just saying the Lord's Prayer. I was like, that might be the perfect encapsulation of how I think of religion. And I was like, what a beautifully messed up moment.
Perfectly distilled. I had a great time watching. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks.
It's a perfectly fun ride, man. It's just a good summer. Again, sometimes movies like this, you know immediately what kind of movie you're in. This one overachieves, man. This is not an underachieve. This is an overachieved movie, man. I have had such fun going back and watching this. It's one of those perfect, like you come home from the bar and you're like, I got the spins. I know I can't sleep. I need something on. Dagon is perfect. It's that kind of a film. Perfect. Just like a turn it on little comfort movie that I fucking love, man. That's it for Dagon. That's it for summer beaches. We'll be back next month in August. August curation might be my favorite one we've had since we've switched to the messed up movies format. This is messed up childhood movies. So movies from our childhood that fucked us up. We're starting with The Never-Ending Story. When I rewatched it with my kids, they said, this movie sucks. And I was like, you're grounded for the rest of your lives. Also, I was rewatching, I was like, no fucking wonder I was scared as fuck watching this movie. So I cannot wait to talk about messed up childhood movies. So guys, thank you so much for your support. Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon is the best way to help us out. Second best way, cost you nothing. Send to Spotify, send to TikTok, a Reel, an Instagram, a YouTube, whatever. Send the show to movie-loving friends you have. Help us grow this thing. We would appreciate it a ton. Go to Misfit Parade. Keep track of our movie, Mr. Cream Jeans Hidey Hole, as we near the end of production. More than anything, thanks for your time. We'll see you